Amid India-Pakistan escalation, the tensions which prevailed on the LOC and between the two nations, one thing which the world and every Indian is talking about, a missile system which perhaps gave a befitting reply to the adversary, the BrahMos missile. Often we call the BrahMos missile fire and forget missile. And to talk more on it, I have with me Dr. Sudhir Mishra in the studios. He's the man behind the BrahMos missile system, ex DG DRDO, and currently holds an emeritus chair with DRDO. Thank you so much, sir, for joining. And let me tell you, viewers, he's also the former MD and CEO of BrahMos Aerospace. Sir, much appreciate you for joining us at times now. So first of all, before getting into the detailings of it, I just want to understand, and every Indian wants to understand, how did BrahMos happen, sir?
It's Thank you, Yash. It's very interesting story. Way back in 90s, it was around 1993, when Dr. Kalam, he went to Moscow, and in one of the break, he was taken to a half-completed ramjet engine, and his Russian friend told that we don't have the money to complete this program, but had we completed, it would have been the world fastest supersonic cruise missile. And Dr. Kalam was very different person. You just can't drop a sentence and expect him to forget. So he returned back, and he collected his team and told that there is a engine which is half completed, and it's a supersonic ramjet engine. We can jointly develop certain missile systems and integrate it in India, and that's how the proposal was prepared. And he took approval from the government also to go ahead with it. And after several formalities, in 1998, India and Russia both have signed an intergovernment agreement, and both countries have committed funds for it. They committed initially $250 million US. Those who know that in the 1998, India and Russia both were financially not very strong, and but the story began there, and both they have decided that it will not be a technology transfer from Russia to India or from India to Russia. It would be a joint development program in which the work share would be decided. Some work would be done by India, some work would be done by Russia. We will bring together these subsystems, integrate it in India, and give it to the Indian and Russian armed forces. So that's how the story of BrahMos started.
So absolutely, and it's very interesting how it started really long back, and now it is perhaps one of the most robust systems Bharat has right now. Now I want to understand, though the reports are not confirmed whether India used these missile systems against our adversary or not, but I really want to understand the exact capabilities of these systems, how capable these systems are, and what makes it different from the other missile systems which are there in the current discourse.
Thank you. BrahMos is a supersonic cruise missile, and it can be launched from various platforms like ships, submarine, land, aircraft, fighter aircraft. And the beauty of this missile is it can have a variety of trajectory. It can fly in any configuration, what operator decides. It can engage variety of targets like command and control center of enemy, bridges of trains, roads, and radar stations, the weapon storage, explosive storages, and anything which is above the ground and under the ground for 20 meters. It can engage. And another thing is this missile can work in any environment. It can work in the sea, it can work in the forest, it can work in the minus 50 degrees Celsius, it can work in the desert. So we have made a missile which is very versatile, which is very universal. So these are the basic features of the missile. Now, when we come to the engineering specifications, the missile has a range. Missile initial range was 300 kilometers, and we have undertaken several initiatives to ensure that it functions beyond that also. When you integrate the missile to Sukhoi 30 MKI, then the missile range is equal to the range of the aircraft. So Sukhoi 30 can fly 3,400 kilometers with full tank.
Absolutely.
So you can go 1700 and return back 1700, plus range of the missile 300 or more. Then you have fueling, refueling. If you do refuel while going, at another 3,400 kilometers. If you do refueling while returning, then it's unimaginable range.
We can say we have the minimum, but the maximum depends on the kind of the launch system which is perhaps being used at that time.
You are absolutely right. And this missile is capable of causing the major disruption, pulverizing the enemy, and pulverizing to the extent that no enemy can run away from it, whether it's a ship, it's a land assets, or the assets which are floating in the sea. So nothing can get away from it. This missile has when it comes to the engineering configuration. So when you launch the missile, you have a booster. The booster takes the missile to about 1.8 Mach. 1.8 Mach means 1.8 times the speed of sound.
Yeah.
So around 600 meters per second. And then the ramjet engine starts. Then the ramjet engine takes the missile to about 2.8, 2.9 Mach. That is 900 meters per second. To understand what is 900 meters per second, we should know that the speed of the bullet is around 400, 450 meters per second. So it is twice the speed of a bullet. So it is very difficult for enemy radars to intercept. First to identify, then to intercept.
So it means that if this missile is fired, it's perhaps there is no air defense system in the world which can intercept it, or any radar which can intercept it.
You see, when this missile has got very good quality, it is, you can say it is stealth also. Stealth in the sense the missile tip and the body, first and the second phase of this missile, it's made up composite. So it's very difficult for radar to catch up the reflections of the radar waves.
Okay.
Number one. Number two, this missile is very sleek. Very sleek. So again, difficult. It doesn't have many bodies which are projected out.
Okay.
Very sleek wings, very sleek fins. So that is another one. And third is the speed. When this missile moves with a 2.8 Mach, and number one, difficult for radar to catch. Number two, the trajectory is very different. So if suppose you take a ship, so about 20, 25, 30 kilometers before the target ships, it comes onto the ground. Okay. It comes onto the ground means come to the surface of the water, okay. 10 meters surface of the water. So the terminal stage is surfing over 10 meter altitude, and then because of the curvature of the earth, it takes about 2-3 kilometers for the ship radar to identify a incoming target. This is at 10 meters above the surface of the water. Only at the 2 or 3 kilometers range, the ship radar can see it. So they have hardly 15 to 18 seconds to react.
It means then by then it's too late.
By then it is already hit the target.
Yeah.
So it's a beauty of the missile.
Sir, now coming to the latest, what is happening right now amid all these tensions between the two nations, one thing which has happened is the inauguration of a new facility in Uttar Pradesh's Lucknow, sir. So, if you can throw some light, what are we going to do there? Yes, Raksha Mantri has talked about how it will be ramping up the manufacturing capabilities of the Bharat. But what exactly are going to do? Are we going to do there, sir?
Our latest facility, which has been inaugurated by Raksha Mantri and Mukhyamantri of Uttar Pradesh, this is a newest facility in our list of facilities, which are located at several places: Nagpur, Hyderabad, Pilani, and Tiruvananthapuram. This facility was required because we had got orders from armed forces, and export order was there. So to meet the increasing demand of Indian armed forces, we were looking for some new venue, and we found Lucknow as an ideal place. The second, the demand from the export orders, you know that we got export orders from Philippines. Few more orders will come from Philippines, Indonesia,
Absolutely.
Vietnam, Africa, maybe South Americas. So this would call for more production facility, more production capability. So that's what Lucknow facility would provide.
So, are we just ramping up the production, or are we developing something new as well there, sir?
In fact, we are doing two major activities there. The first one is ramping our manufacturing capability. The second one, we have come out with a BrahMos NG missile.
Okay.
So this BrahMos NG stands for next generation. So this missile would have the similar range of the prime BrahMos, and but it would be much smaller in the size and weight. It would be about 1,200 kilograms, whereas BrahMos main, we call it BrahMos prime, that is about 2,800 kilograms, so less than half. Then the size also would reduce. The third, we would be miniaturizing many subsystems. Then fourth, we would be using the latest state-of-the-art technologies in this missile. So this missile is already under development. Subsystems are already under development and being manufactured. So in another 12 to 18 months, we would be bringing these subsystems at Lucknow, integrate them, and then go for the flight test, and then start delivering to the users.
So, what is the timeline we're looking at here?
We are giving ourselves 12 to 18 months for design and development.
So, in next 1.5 year, we'll be having more of those missiles, and that to an upgraded version.
That, yes, you're right.
So, if we talk about our adversaries in the neighborhood, they claim a lot of things. They say that we have done this, we have done that. Do they have anything to offer, or perhaps anything to showcase to the world in comparison to BrahMos?
There is no contemporary system equal to BrahMos supersonic cruise missile. The reason is nobody is having the supersonic ramjet engine. So if they had it, they should have used it. They should have flight tested it. They should have shared the data. You see, you go to the net. On the YouTube, you will find number of video of flight test of BrahMos. And we have exported it also. So many friends, they know about the capability. Nobody will buy the BrahMos without seeing the capability. So this missile has already demonstrated the capability of the speed, about the demonstration, the demolition power. This missile has also demonstrated how can it engage the moving targets. So if anybody else is having, please show. Nobody has shown it. So as of now, there are only two countries who are having the ramjet capability: India and Russia. When it comes to the supersonic, I'm talking about the supersonic ramjet engine capability.
Yeah.
Yes. Anything anything can fly more than the speed of sound. The simple rockets, they also fly. It doesn't mean you call them supersonic ramjet engine. No, they are not.
Here you're talking about the delivery systems.
We are talking about the
Delivery system. So you talked about Russia. So we know that it's a collaboration between India and Russia, and in fact, uh, Russia also played a very pivotal role. So if you can go back in the history, what exactly happened and how did Russians actually help, or perhaps how did we help Russians in developing such a system?
The right word to call the relationship between India and Russia would be partnership and friendship.
Friendship.
Yes. It's very difficult to find friends like Russians. And the only thing is, you need to be intelligent. And if you are intelligent, then only they will make you as your partner. There's a thumb rule. The second is, I think there is some chemistry between Indian and Russians because they are able to work together for almost 27, 28 years.
Absolutely.
And I don't remember a single difference of opinion ever took place. So I'll say that this BrahMos could become possible only because of the similar mindset, because of the respect to each other.
Absolutely. So, you talked about Dr. Kalam's contribution for India in developing such a system. I also want to understand from you, sir. It's been, I guess, more than 4 decades for you to being in this domain and contributing a lot to the nation, sir. What actually inspired you to be here? And in fact, now we're talking about the BrahMos missile system and everything. What actually inspired you to contribute to the nation in this domain, sir?
You see, 40 years back, the missile was a very exotic word, exotic term. And developed countries have denied several technologies to us. So it was a challenge for the youngsters that when something is denied by the Western nations to you, can you develop it in India? And thanks to Dr. Kalam and several other scientists, I can name them, like Dr. Saraswat, who is a member of Niti Aayog. I can name Dr. Sivthanu Pillai, who was the first CMD of BrahMos. I can name Dr. Prahlada, who is the father of Akash missile, Dr. Agrawal, who has created Agni series of missiles. By the way, Dr. Saraswat also created a Prithvi series of missiles. Then we had subsequently many more scientists. So they were all, got motivated by Dr. Abdul Kalam. And Dr. Kalam had a vision. He could lead team of youngsters by giving them vision, by telling them what they can do in the future. And he used to tell us very interesting thing, that if somebody is leaving from the organization, it means you have not given him sufficient work. So my bosses ensured that if I have 10 hours of work every day, they give me 15 hours of work. So I'm overloaded all the time. I have reasons to come tomorrow, next day. Oh, that was a strategy of Dr. Kalam, and he was fantastic human manager. He was excellent human being himself, and it's very difficult to find a person who is good in management, good in team building, good in engineering, science, technology, and I think I'm very fortunate that I got opportunity to work with him and learn many things, rather emulate in my own life. So I salute him.
So, I'll just ask you one more question on BrahMos, then we'll move on to perhaps another very important aspect of this entire escalation which we saw, and about our Indian Armed Forces and the arsenal we use. If you have to perhaps describe BrahMos in just one line or perhaps in 1 or 2 words, what it would be?
Uh,
I don't want to put you in a spot, but
no. I can tell you, any adversary should never think of making, or rather, should I rephrase it? It would be, don't make us your enemy, because we have BrahMos.
Absolutely.
And especially for the enemy warships, because we will chase you till we sink you. So don't make us your enemy.
So one more thing, when you talked about the chasing part of it, logistics is perhaps one of the most important aspect for any country's economy. And in situations like these also, logistics become very important. BrahMos is a very heavy missile. So in any of these conditions, how fast perhaps we can take these systems and perhaps getting to the front line, how tough or easy it is actually?
You see, when we made the missile, we also make the peripheral systems. We also make the systems which will ensure the loading, reloading. We also ensure that there are sufficient storage facilities. We also ensure there are maintenance facility available in the field, and there is a power supply available to the missile. So these all things are ensured, and a missile is not simply a launcher. It's made up of about 5 to 6 big vehicles, supporting vehicles. So they all ensure that missile is able to successfully launch and reach to the target. Launching is one thing, reaching to the target is another thing, different things. So we have done that more than 130 plus times, more than 130 times.
Oh, absolutely, sir. And one thing also, every Indian perhaps is talking about India's air defense system. And that is also a very important part of defending our soil. And in fact, a lot of projectiles come from Pakistan's side. And in fact, we neutralized each one of them. What is this system, if you can elaborate? We talk about S-400, we talk about the Akash system. What actually worked for India in neutralizing all these projectiles coming in from Pakistan?
Yeah, actually, every country, uh, depending upon the threat perception, they design their own air defense systems. So, in the air defense systems, there is a inside layer, innermost layer. The innermost layer can be up to 7 to 9 kilometers. So you have the anti-aircraft guns, you have shouldered fire missile, you have short-range surface-to-air missile. Then comes the another circle which will be having slightly longer range. So we have found that a range of 25 kilometers is ideal for the second outer. Now, for that, you have to use the missiles which are surface to air. So, in our case, we have Akash missile, which can take care of the enemy up to 25 kilometers. Then you have the third layer. The third layer is up to 60 to 75 kilometers. Now, in our case, we have long range surface to air missile, we have medium range surface to air missile, we have Akash NG next generation. So these missiles take care of the third ring. Then you have outermost. Beyond 75, you can have up to around 150. And then final will be beyond 150, 150 to 250, 300, 400. Now, for that, you need to have the S-400 systems, because the S-400 also provide you a layered defense. So this is the basic philosophy of a layered air defense system. Oh, we have a solution for every layer. Every layer. And when it comes to the missile technology, I want to assure your viewers that we are superpower in the missile technology.
Well, obviously, so Bharat stands strong in these situations, and perhaps the kind of damage we have inflicted on Pakistan also sends out this message to the world that yes, at one time we used to import a lot, but now indigenously also we produce these systems which are robust and can give a befitting reply to any of our adversaries. So, one just last question, perhaps I want to ask you, and this was a question perhaps asked 2 times now by a lot of viewers online also, sir. So there was a narrative which was peddled by Pakistan, and a lot of experts were also talking about in the West that how Pakistani launched these cheap drones and cheap projectiles to make India's air defense systems exhaust, or to perhaps exhaust the air defense systems. How long these systems can sustain, or is it correct to say that the kind of infliction Pakistan did was just to show, or perhaps just to gauge what kind of air defense system India has?
Uh, you see, every country, they have their own strategy to attack and retaliate. So possibly the drone attack was to saturate our radars and exhaust us. India could read their motives, and we have responded in the equal measures, and we have neutralized, I think, most of their drones. The second is we have Atmanirbhar Bharat Atmanirbhar program. So this Atmanirbharta has, if you remember, our Prime Minister has declared that India has to become the drone capital.
Absolutely.
Drone capital of the world. And we have already adopted, we have already implemented, executed, and we are producing almost all variety of drones. So the attack was also in the similar manner. When it comes to the missile, the you know that India has retaliated when we were attacked with the Fateh. Fateh is a ballistic missile, and the objective was to take on Delhi. It was, I think, not accepted. It is, the skirmishes on the boundary is one thing.
Absolutely.
Attacking city is another thing.
But it was then neutralized over.
It was
Haryana,
neutralized.
Sirsa.
It was neutralized in Sirsa. So that also has conveyed a message that India is having all kind of air defense. So what is the next action? The next is let's compromise. Let's not see another defeat. Let's not face another humiliation. And you know what all happened after that.
Absolutely. The chest thumping which was done by the Pakistani forces was also perhaps one thing to look at. Dr. Kalam was called the Missile Man of India, and what we heard from Sir today, and perhaps we can call you, if you may permit us, the BrahMos Man of India, Dr. Sudhir Mishra. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Yash.